to the management of Ayanadar Janaki Ammal College, Sivakasi, and the distinguished principal, sir, Dr. C. Ashok, and the coordinators of IQAC, Senior Professor R. Jagannathan, sir, assistant coordinators, Dr. N. Sindhil Kumar, and the coordinator and organizing secretary of this wonderful Atal FDP, Dr. J. Jabakumari Biula Vasanti ma'am. I record my sincere thanks to all the members of IQAC and all the members who have arranged this FDP in a very nice way. Thank you once again, ma'am, for the nice words of introduction. And for today's afternoon session, the topic which has been given to me is promotion of social and universal values through awareness program. Promotion of social and universal values through awareness programs. So through this presentation, I would like to share with you how we can impart and inculcate social and universal values through awareness programs in higher education institutions. In the previous decades, many educated people, especially the policy makers, educationists, educational researchers, have been talking much about the importance of inculcating value-based education. The NAC, as well as the UGC and other autonomous agencies, they have been constantly stressing the importance of inculcating and promoting these values through various programs. So my presentation will be focusing on the way in which we can incorporate such values in our institutions. So as we all are aware, values are individual beliefs that motivate people to act one way or the other, and they serve as a guide for human behavior. This is a common or general definition for values. And people are usually predisposed to adopt the values they are raised with. That means they are brought up with. And people who also tend to believe that some values are right because they practice their values which are in coherence with their culture and tradition. So these values gain significance to individuals when they feel that they are right. And when we talk about values, automatically there is a judgment, emotional or ethical judgment interferes. So ethical decision making often involves weighing values against each other. We weigh the values and choose which one has to be elevated, which one has to be left out. So when we have a clash, when we have a process of decision making or ethical decision making, naturally conflicts may result. So we come across conflicts when other people have different set of values. That leads to a clash of preferences and priorities. When do values gain universal fame or universal importance? Means they have intrinsic worth. That means that when they talk about love, truth, and freedom, these values gain universal value. Other values such as ambition, responsibility, and courage, they describe traits or behaviors which can be highly subjective in nature. So still other values are also considered to be sacred and are moral imperatives for those who believe in them. So value systems need to be first psychologically accepted. We need to strongly believe in the values which we want to teach others. As Mahatma Gandhi has rightly said, or when we talk about Mahatma, why do we call him as a Mahatma? For the reason that he preached what he followed and he followed what he preached. So that is why we call him as the Mahatma, and we people are all ordinary Atmas. There is a popular saying by Oscar Wilde about values. In general, nowadays people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. You might be familiar about a WhatsApp message which has been very popular in social media, that we have very big rooms, but we have very less number of family members. Right? The list goes on. That means people are very much aware of the price of everything, but we don't understand the value of anything. That is nothing. There is another quotation by C.S. Lewis which stresses the importance of inculcating value based education. He says, education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make a more clever devil instead of a responsible citizen or a nice human being. He comes very strong, he uses a very strong word like a clever devil. That means that this is the need of the hour, that teachers, we need to believe that values are very, very important while we impart knowledge and skills to our student friends. So, the context of inculcating values, true education is nothing but praxis, which means that human reflection and action upon the world to transform it. This is the definition given by Freire in 1969. And it supports a process of self discovery and learning, promotes personal development, and helps people find what kind of role they can play in the society, as well as strengthening the communities that they live in, and finally, ultimately leading to stimulating social progress. The ultimate aim of education is to inspire, provoke, and motivate the free and active participation of individuals in their reality and equip them with tools that help them to construct a new approach to problems in their physical and temporal environment. Recovering the human capacity to evaluate, compare, choose, decide, and act upon the world is more crucial now than ever before. This quotation has been given by again Freire in 2001 itself. This quotation beautifully stresses the importance of inculcating values in our education system. And even NAC as well as UGC has been constantly stressing on the fact that one of the key aims of higher education is to foster all-round personality development or holistic development of our students, and they educate our citizens who are responsible, informed, and committed to work for a better future. By this term, they mean that professional ethics. I want to use the word professional ethics as synonymous to the to the statement given by the UGC and NAC. Achieving these objectives requires a profound transformation of higher education to create a system that is capable of anticipating the needs of society and individuals. In the morning session, our professor has talked about inculcating research ethics, even in IPR. We need transformational research or translational research. Even in the context of research, we need to have translational research. That means the research output has to have some value in the society. It must give some output. It has to bring some positive transformation in the society. So translational research is the need of the hour. Okay. Let me go back to the need or the scope for promoting values. Every society is bound by common values. That means all the members, they are aware of the fact that what to expect of each other, how they can contribute to each other, and have some shared principles, that then only they can act as a group. If at all they don't share any principles, or if they come across any clashes of opinion, the groups may get shattered. So to manage their differences without resorting to violence. So it has to be bound together by common value system. And today, in the recent times, globalization has brought us all together. Our lives have shrunk in terms of space and time. But on the far side of the world, we also need to live as a global community, especially during these pandemic times. We have realized how to stay together and how to get connected to each other thanks to information technology, thanks to platforms like online platforms like Google Meet or video call or Zoom platforms, WebEx, and so on. And if we need to be connected with each other in the global community, we can do so only if we have global values to bind us together. So in this sense, values act as a binding force to bring people together from who belong to various communities, religions, languages together. On one hand, educational impacts refer to the process of teaching learning alone and how the curriculum has been developed. But the real side, on the other hand, cognitive impacts include all the theoretical approaches, research lines and production, and dissemination of knowledge. And most important thing is the last part, how it contributes to the quality of life of the society. This is the ultimate thing we have to aim as an output by inculcating these values. So, what are the common spheres through which we can inculcate the human values? First, on the morality side of the students. Number two, on their aesthetic preferences, right? How to appreciate a text, how to appreciate nature, how to give or how to respect a fellow human being, right? How to choose, how to collaborate with each other. We have a concept called peer teaching, which is a very successful one in our campus, Anjak. It is a brainchild of our beloved principal, Dr. C. Ashok, who has been constantly promoting the concept of peer teaching. When they mingle with their peer groups, they feel greater confidence and they can easily mingle with each other and they learn better and more efficiently. Okay. Human values can be attributed with human traits, characteristics, human endeavors, and social order. These are the various spheres of which we can inculcate human values. First thing is morality. Okay. So why do we have, what kind of responsibilities do the higher education institutions have in inculcating values? Right? So we are very quite familiar with the term called CSR. Many corporate companies, industries, even IT sector, they indulge in activities which promote corporate social responsibilities, CSR. They desilt some ponds, they clean the roads, they remove the garbage, right? They even help the corporation or the municipality to lay roads. They collaborate with the NGOs and they take up some social welfare activities. This is common with regard to the companies. So similarly, all higher education institutions also have a moral obligation of serving the society. This can be called as institutional social responsibility. In our college, we have CSR, college social responsibility. So in the oncoming slides, I will explain how we can implement this ISR or CSR in our institution, thereby how the society can be benefited. Colleges or universities are also responsible for their operation towards their publics, the society at large, and the environment. Finally, the society and the environment has to be given something, right, directly, in collaboration with many organizations. Universities offer USR, which differs from corporate CSR because it presents specific impacts which are related to learning and research production that only concerns to educational institutions. Through research activities, through our teaching learning process, through our curriculum, through our pedagogy, through our extension, co-curricular, extracurricular activities, we need to contribute something to the society and the environment we live in. So who must be involved for this huge process? All the policymakers, they have to give their concurrence. They have to make it as a policy of inculcating these values. Next, the higher education institutions, teachers, students, parents, and the industrial experts. Everybody need to collaborate together and contribute together in order to bring some changes for communal transformation, to bring about a positive transformation in the society we live in. I have given the current scenario and I have also listed out the value framework of NAAC in the second part. The current scenario, even the best products produced from our IITs and IIMs, which are considered to be the creamy layer of our all higher education institutions, they have developed or produced overdeveloped minds and underdeveloped hearts. So this is what is lacking in the present scenario. It has emerged as a serious threat. So the common threats we face due to the lack of values in the minds of students, we have very common problems like brain drain, unemployment, and underemployment. As we are all aware, brain drain refers to educated people, especially from top level institutions like IITs, IIMs, and other distinguished institutions. Once they get all kinds of subsidy and they use the subsidy and they get the scholarships and they finish their higher education and immediately they leave India and work in some multinational companies in abroad. This is called as brain drain. And another common problem which has been very prevalent in India for the first few decades, even after independence, we find unemployment, and another thing is underemployment. In this scenario, we have to look at the value framework suggested by NAC. These are the following core values which are listed down by NAC to be promoted by the higher education institutions of our country. Number one is a contribution to national development. Number two, fostering global competencies among students. Number three, inculcating a value system in students. Four, promoting the use of technology. And last one is a quest for excellence. So in any institution, we need to have some institutional values. These are some of the values which I have taken from my institution, which have been listed out here. The ultimate aim of a higher education institution is to promote higher education, especially of the region, with reference to teaching and research, by encouraging sustained activities through the improvement of standards in teaching and learning, by giving equal opportunities. To facilitate the full blossoming of each student's personality, again, I'm talking about the holistic development of personality, by instilling self-confidence, self-reliance, and self-expression. Sensitizing of students to social needs and proper human relationships. And next thing is to enable the students to become fully aware of the world of work and the higher academic reaches, so that solid foundation is laid for career development in the life of each student. Finally, to help the students towards the building up of a sound body and mind, so that they are imbued with a sense of discipline and hard work, will be able to play their legitimate roles for God and the nation, which is the motto of our college, Anjan. So how to inculcate the values in higher education? We have seen the context, the backdrop, the value framework by NAC. All these things are okay. How to inculcate them? So India is a pluralistic country with diverse cultures, languages, communities, and groups, where we need to imbibe the students with appropriate values. Very important thing is those values must commensurate with social, cultural, economic, and environmental realities. And these realities must be at the level of local, national, and universal levels. So this is what is essential, right? Value integration can be done through academic programs. It can be inculcated in the institutional management practices, and it can be done through co-curricular and extracurricular activities. It will be reflected in all the four domains. If you implement the values in an institution, it must be reflected in four key areas, namely education, employment opportunities, number three, environmental issues, and the social issues. These are the four major platforms on which these values will have a direct impact and it will reflect directly. So what should be our objectives in inculcating values? The ultimate objectives are to develop social consciousness and civic responsibilities. The COVID lockdown has broken the etiquette or the minimum skills, soft skills required from the students, because they have not been to the educational institutions for the past 1.5 years. They don't know how to even interact with the teachers or other superior people, right? This is what is the major botheration now. Okay, that is why we have an objective of developing social consciousness and civic responsibilities. Number two is to gain awareness on environmental issues and become eco-conscious. To promote social ethics and communal harmony. to act as messengers of the key schemes of our Honorable Prime Minister of India, like Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Swachh Bharat, Swachhta Pakwada, that is the Clean India Mission, Make in India movement, and the Skill India campaign. Students must act as messengers of such missions, which are directly involved to the nation building process. And when we prepare any agenda or any project or any research proposal, when we keep in mind these latest schemes promoted by the union government, it would be very much easier to secure projects and thereby leading to national development. For carrying out these activities, we need to collaborate with the village administrative bodies and under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and carry out activities related to national integration, health, sanitation, and hygiene. These are some examples I have listed out, and the list is not exhaustive. So, what kind of awareness programs we can organize? So, apart from guest lectures and invited expert talks, usually we do guest lectures as a very common thing, and invited talks are very common, right? In order to create awareness. Sensitization or awareness is the key word or the primary thing what we need to instill in our young minds. First, students must be sensitized. Awareness must be created, right? By creating proper awareness, we can instill whatever value set in the minds of the students. So we can have guest lectures and invited expert talks. And thanks to technology once again, because nowadays many distinguished speakers or researchers or educationists, they have agreed to deliver talks free of cost. They don't demand any honorarium, and the technology has shrunk time and space, and we can invite speakers from all over the world. That is, it has become very easy now. We can invite a personality or a notable person from US over Zoom or WebEx or Google platforms, and it would be directly beneficial to our students. Right. Apart from guest lectures, we can go organize the rallies in bikes or cycles. Right. One such rally is very famous in our institution. Every year, our students as well as staff members take a cycle rally to a very famous nearby place, a tourist spot, a famous tourist spot called Kutralam Falls. It is around 200 kilometers, 250 kilometers from here, right, to and fro. Around 200 students, along with 20 staff members, they take a cycle rally. And when they go in a large number, they meet the villages on the way. They distribute pamphlets. They raise slogans. They carry the banners regarding various social and environmental issues, especially related to health, hygiene, blood donation, voter awareness, and so on. Mini marathon races or full-length marathon races can be conducted in our campus, especially to promote the key concepts of our beloved Prime Minister, Fit India Run or Fit India movement. These activities like marathon races will be having direct impact with the society, with the common public. They will come across, they will just witness and they will be inspired, and they will take up some social and environmentally conscious initiatives. Another notable technique or pedagogy to inculcate values is street plays. You might have come across mob or flash performances in malls. Our students have such a potential, such a great potential that they can perform, they can come out with innovative ideas to perform street plays. So street plays on important themes can be organized within the campus now and also outside the campus, so that they can attract the attention of the audience and the common public in order to create awareness. The Department of Visual Communication and other students who are interested in producing short films. Again, thanks to technology, we have so many mobile applications which create short films. These short films can be a very good technique in order to create awareness among the public. Very easily, nowadays, social media reaches, it has a greater reach among the public than other modalities. We also have community college programs. Community FM radio can be launched. In our college, we have launched a community radio with a frequency of 90.4. And this can serve the local community, through which we can organize some programs related to agriculture. It is a rural area. So programs that match the local and national needs can be organized, and community FM radio can be efficiently used for the purpose of promoting new schemes or sensitizing the people about energy conservation or health and sanitation issues and other things. Another major technique or the common practice in higher education institutions is extension activities. Organizing extension activities is a very common and an effective technique so that you can reach the public, right? And we can involve in some welfare measures. Especially NSS has been actively engaged in organizing 10-day camps in villages, especially adopted villages. The main thing is all higher education institutions need to adopt a few villages, at least 4 or 5 villages, and we can carry out some cleaning camps, tree plantation programs, voter awareness rallies, and other things in such villages so that the public will be directly benefited. All the students in higher education institutions must be motivated to take pledges regarding communal harmony, linguistic harmony, 100% voting, ensuring 100% voting or blood donation, and so on. Another thing is we have to observe and celebrate all the important days in an institution, like World Water Day, Teachers Day, Environment Day, Day of Global Warming, International Day of Yoga. All such important days must be observed and celebrated, in which all the students must be actively involved. And NAC constantly insists on celebrating the birth and death anniversaries of great leaders. How can we do that? By conducting some competitions like essay writing, elocution, slogan writing, poster making. Ethical hacking can be also done in order to create awareness. So these are some common competitions through which we can inculcate the values and create awareness among the student community. So whenever we organize any program in our college, even in the department level, students must be included as representatives. This is very, very essential. NAC gives due weightage when students are involved because it promotes leadership qualities of our students. It also helps the students to develop their organizational skills and perform better in a peer team. Okay, I want to list out some of the key areas, right, in order to create awareness. These are some key topics on which we need to create awareness. Number one, in colleges and universities, women's safety is of utmost importance, where we need to display 24/7 helpline numbers. It must have the helpline numbers of anti-ragging cell, women anti-harassment helpline numbers in all the major blocks of the campus, and it must be also displayed in the college website. Students must be all encouraged to take the anti-ragging pledge. Kindly note down the name of the movement. It is called as Aman Movement, promoted by the Union government. It is an online platform where we have to register, and students can access and they can log in using their email ID, and they have to submit an affidavit on anti-ragging activities. It is like a pledge. It is insisted by NAC and UGC. Students need to be sensitized about Nirbhaya Act in the recent times after the Nirbhaya incident to ensure that the campus is free from evils of women harassment or ETC. This is very important to be implemented in the campus. In order to ensure the women's safety, we can install CCTVs, face recognition and fingerprint-based biometric attendance so that we can avoid the entry of strangers. Right? We can also issue visitor ID cards in order to prevent the entry of strangers inside the campus. And women staff members can act as escorts to accompany the girl students of our college during field visits, study tours, and intercollegiate competitions. These measures ensure women's safety in the campus. Second part for women is giving customized counseling and guidance. This can be done through trained women faculty counselors and women cell members, for which initially we have to constitute a separate cell, namely women's cell in all higher education institutions. In that women's cell, the lady staff members from all departments, from arts, humanities, biological sciences, chemical sciences, and physical sciences, they can, each of them from each department, some lady staff members can act as women's cell members. And the purpose of women's cell is to organize gender sensitization programs, organizing conferences, seminars, workshops, by inviting some judicial or police people or administrative officers, and to deliver lectures on topics like attitude building, transactional analysis, emotional intelligence, and so on. So how to inculcate some value system in the curriculum? We can introduce, as far as I am concerned, I belong to English department, and in that syllabi, I have incorporated new courses like courses in the sense I am meaning about papers. So papers with topics like women's rights, women's writings, gender issues, and LGBT issues have been incorporated in the syllabi. Thanks to autonomy, which has given us the freedom to incorporate some novel and innovative papers like the list I have enclosed above. Grievance redressal and counseling need to be provided to the needy girl students with utmost care through women faculty, ensuring complete confidentiality. This is very, very essential because students can be given counseling, but once when we need to when we ensure that the students open up their minds, this will be done only when the confidentiality of the issue will be maintained. If the secrecy is not maintained, if we do not give that assurance that this issue will be fully kept in confidentiality, otherwise the students open up their hearts. So many problems, serious problems can be solved using this grievance redressal or this counseling mechanism. This will be, I promise you that if this is a very effective mechanism in order to eliminate, in order to help the needy students who are undergoing lots of stress. Recently, we came across many issues of suicide by students, aspirants of NEET examination. Due to lots and lots of stress, they commit suicide. So in such times, such grievance redressal mechanism or counseling provisions for counseling will ensure that they may come out of the emotional problems very smoothly. Okay, through Women's Cell, we can organize programs to test the hemoglobin level, the RH incompatibility. We have to create awareness on these things, and which can be identified through medical camps and offered medical guidance or assistance for the needy. And we need to organize gender sensitization programs on health and hygiene, breast cancer, cervical cancer, and sexual harassment. These are some gender-specific sensitization programs which can be offered through the Women's Cell. So first one is, according to women, we need to ensure their safety. We need to provide customized counseling and guidance. The third one is about women empowerment initiatives. So how to empower women? Self-employment programs to motivate girls to emerge as successful entrepreneurs. These programs are very essential because they have many hidden skills and talents. Once we give some basic training, they come out with flying colors using their creativity. We can provide exclusive units for NCC and NSS for girls. Because only when we give exclusive units, girl students will eagerly come forward to join such NSS and NCC programs. We in our college, we have separate units for women. Even for physical, we have a physical directress and a yoga instructor separately for girl students. We have women yoga instructors. Girl students shall be sensitized and assisted on applying for exclusive scholarships or fellowships. For example, Maulana Azad Fellowship for PG students, PG girl students, right? And the single girl child fellowships. They are available. Students may not know these programs or schemes available by the government and the NGOs. We need to sensitize them. Such programs can be organized. Even in the girls' hostel, the inmates can be provided with training, hands-on training, or workshops can be conducted in terms of typewriting, shorthand, driving, sewing, embroidery, and even beautician courses through experts and the professionals. After working hours, we can invite some experts in the above fields, and girl students are very much eager. I promise you that students will be very much eager. They will come forward with enthusiasm to learn such things which can promote the entrepreneurial programs in the campus. So there is a question in the NAC, how many students have emerged as entrepreneurs? So this data will be very much essential and it will be very much helpful when we prepare our self-study report for NAC accreditation and assessment. Number one is women safety, security, guidance and counseling, and women empowerment. The next thing or next value system we have to implement in the institution is waste management initiatives, which has become the need of the hour. Clean India movement or Swachhta Pakwada or Swachh Bharat Abhiyan are all launched by the Union government with the objective of cleaning up the neighborhood. Right? When we promote such activities, definitely the institution will be appreciated by UGC and NAC if we carry out specific events related to the Union government's initiatives. So to propagate the Clean India mission, various steps can be taken to sensitize students on effective waste management techniques. We can ensure that no kind of waste, whether it be a plastic waste or paper waste, we have to promote, reduce, reuse, and recycle. 3 R's can be promoted: reduce, recycle, and reuse. So burning of waste in any form to be totally prohibited to ensure a smoke-free campus. Meetings can be conducted in open air under the tree shades. Even I take my students to the tree shades and conduct classes, right? And we can do so at regular intervals to create awareness about the environment. And in order to make effective use of waste, we can organize art from waste competitions. Even this can be very much useful done in e-waste. Students make use of the old discarded CDs, right? And they bring out some nice toys, right? With using the disposed CDs and other things. So it can be promoted. Art from waste competitions is a very important initiative for waste management. Okay, number 3, first one is women. Number 2 is waste management initiatives. Number 3 is water conservation and rainwater harvesting. I am talking about the key areas where we can implement the awareness programs, issues. Okay. So awareness programs can be done regularly through various service channels like NSS, Exnora, and so on. The clubs and fora of the college can be also made full use in organizing such activities. I talked about the adopted villages concept. In our college, we have adopted 8 villages in our vicinity, and our NSS volunteers, they are conducting various camps in them. In such camps, student volunteers can distribute pamphlets or notices to the people to create awareness on rainwater harvesting and insist the villagers to install and maintain rainwater harvesting units in their homes. And rallies and debates are also conducted to stress the importance of conservation of rainwater. Students are sensitized about the importance of rainwater harvesting and they are motivated to establish such structures in their homes. Once we implement such a value system in the minds of the students, definitely it will be a great success. They will do it in their homes. So what are the days which are related to rainwater harvesting and water conservation in general? World Water Day, World Nature Day, and World Earth Day can be celebrated, in which essay competitions and oratorical competitions are conducted on the themes of conservation of water, nature, etc. Fourth heading is on green practices, promotion of green practices in the campus. So use of bicycles by staff and students can be encouraged, right? Which is both environment friendly and pocket friendly too. The additional benefit we get is we get good health, right? By burning out fat by cycling. So I told you about cycle rallies, which are regularly organized every year that can be taken up. During the cycle rallies, we can distribute pamphlets, right? And we can conduct awareness programs on topics like avoiding the use of plastics, water and energy conservation, health and hygiene issues. This is for use of rallies and other meetings, conduct of meetings, awareness programs. Number two is about public transport, encouraging students and staff members to use more public transport facilities like trains and buses. To avoid the use of two-wheelers and cars, we can encourage students as well as staff members to use more number of public transport facilities. Next thing is the pedestrian-friendly roads. In the campus, we need to ensure that we need to have pedestrian-friendly roads, and we can ban the use of or prohibit the use of vehicles inside the campus. Campus can be promoted to be a plastic-free campus, right? And next thing is the paperless office is a novel concept where we can make use of social media like WhatsApp, email, and SMS services in order to send circulars from the office. Instead of taking multiple copies of printouts, we can make use of paperless office concept and share the information in WhatsApp, or you can take a single copy and just scan it and photocopy it, and then we can share it in the social media groups. Nowadays, everybody, all teachers will be having WhatsApp groups. We can easily share it. Finally, in order to promote and ensure that the campus has enough green cover, we can conduct two important audits. One is environment audit, another one is green audit. I have highlighted these practices from criteria number 7, institutional values and best practices, which these are the points which I have taken from criterion 7. These two audits, apart from these things, we have also energy audit, right? Environmental audit and green audit talks about calculating or having a census about the flora and fauna of the college. Environment audit talks about the pollution level, the temperature, the ambience, the sunlight, right? The circulation, air circulation and everything. It will take care by the environmental audit. Green audit takes care of the flora and fauna in the college. So how to initiate green practices? I have listed out some of the key practices of green initiatives in which ANJAC has been following in the previous years. We have a beautiful peacock park, a serene peacock park and eco parks with a wide variety of trees and medicinal plants. And in the recent times, we have initiated a by-plant care and conservation club. This topic would be handled by Dr. P. Samuel in the oncoming sessions. He will elaborate on the topic of by-plant care club. He is the coordinator for the club, which takes care of birds, plants, and animals. That is, an acronym has been formed that is called by-plant. Birds, plants, and animals are cared and conserved, right, in the campus. We can promote planting of tree saplings on the eve of birthday celebrations of students and on other important days which are celebrated in the campus. So during such events, especially like welcome parties, when we welcome the freshers to the campus or giving a farewell to the previous batch or the outgoing batch, we can encourage students to get tree samplings, which we can get it free of cost from the horticultural department. So saplings can be planted, in which we can place a small board and we can allot a group of students to take care of the tree sapling. Watering the plant and taking care of the plant and everything will be done by the students. Students will be doing it with full enthusiasm. So thus such activities can be initiated. Another such initiative is the innovative carbon credit scheme, If any student avoids the use of two-wheelers or cars and come by bicycle or by walk, he can be given some credits. In that, it will be like a card, like a bus pass, where we can allot some credit for each day when he avoids the use of two-wheelers or cars. We also have a program called Tree Certification Program, which issues appreciation certificates to students who plant and grow saplings in large numbers. This is called Tree Certification Programs. They have to give a proof. They have to submit a proof, right? They have to plant a sapling and they have to take care of it for the next 3 years. They have to nurture the plant and bring it as a big tree, right? CREGVAV is another center we have established in our campus, which is exclusively dedicated for research on global warming in Virudhunagar district. So NAC as well as UGC has been insisting all the institutions to promote such awareness programs which suit the local needs first. So we have launched a center with an objective of preventing global warming only in the Virudhunagar district level, for which we can organize guest lectures, rallies, awareness programs, and so on. Competitions were also conducted under CREGVAV. These are all acronyms we have created for the various centers and cells established in our campus. We also have a center for house sparrow studies. Recently, in a movie, they talk about the threat, right, for house sparrows, right, due to the high frequency of mobile towers. Many house sparrows have died. So there is a center established for the study of house sparrows, right? It promotes the conservation. It also conducts various activities. In our college, we have a zodiac garden and a star garden. For each and every zodiac sign and a star sign, for individual, we have a specific tree, and the students have to plant a tree which matches their zodiac sign. They will do it with so much of enthusiasm. We have also established a separate floral garden to mark and commemorate the birth anniversary of the legendary mathematician Ramanujan. So these are the green practices. I have highlighted women's safety, women counseling, women empowerment initiatives. Next, I talked about waste management initiatives. Third thing, I talked about green practices, right? And what are the service channels through which we can carry out the activities. We need to tap the service of the associations from the department level first. Each department has to establish an association, I think, which will be very, very common in all the colleges and universities. We need to have separate associations. We can have clubs, fora, centers, cells, institutes, and NSS, NCC, and extension services. These institutions are called as centers, are called as service channels. Service channels through which we can carry out all the activities. So what kind of activities? I can list out the other clubs available in our college, which we can also establish in all the higher education institutions. As the names are self-explanatory in nature, they have been established with specific objectives. Media Club, it promotes photography skills and short film making skills of students. We have purchased high quality equipments, and we are also equipped with a very high configuration systems in our audio visual lab, thanks to our Munificient management, which has installed high configured audio visual laboratory, even with green mat technology and mat systems. This is the function of Media Club. Humor Club, right? Humor Club is very essential in order to de-stress both staff and students. They conduct so many debates, right? Good discussions, which make the students laugh and think. Third one is a horticultural club, where they discuss varieties of ornamental flowers and plants to be planted inside the campus, and they promote tree plantation also. We have Nature Club, which is synonymous with the horticultural club. We have a population education club, which is one of the serious threats to our country. Population explosion is a major threat. We have Citizen Consumer Club, which talks about creating, or which creates and sensitizes students on the consumer rights, right? We have a Consumer Council, We need to sensitize our students to fight for their rights as consumers. This Citizen Consumer Club regularly organizes programs to promote, to make the students know and be aware of the citizens and consumers' rights. We have Red Ribbon Club, which was established to promote blood donation among students and staff members. Yellow Ribbon Club promotes awareness on hepatitis. This Yellow Ribbon Club is exclusively created for promoting awareness among the common public as well as the students about hepatitis. Hepatitis B is a very serious disease which can take away precious lives. So we have an Yellow Ribbon Club for promoting and making the students aware of the essential constitutional laws, Right to Information Act and other acts. We have established a club called a Legal Literacy Club. For promoting health and fitness activities, we have Health and Fitness Club. And very important and novel and innovative club is the Grandparent Student Club, shortly called as the GPSC, which promotes joint family system. Nowadays, we come across many issues in which children chase away their elderly parents. They become homeless. They have lost all their property and wealth. The children take away their wealth and just leave them homeless. Such things should not happen in the society, for which the students should be sensitized that grandparents should be taken proper care. So we need to sensitize the students on how to nurture our grandparents, how to give them due respect. We take our students to nearby old age homes, right, orphanages, in order to show the ground reality, the real suffrage of the grandparents, the elderly people, and make the students realize the importance of joint family system, which is one of the key novel concepts of our Indian value and tradition. I already talked about the Byplan Animal Care Club. These are the different fora and other centers which can be established in our campus, through which we can carry out various activities. Again, these names are self-explanatory in nature. We have a planning forum which talks about the different plans and schemes brought out by both state and central governments. It was originally initiated and launched with the objective of familiarizing the 5-year plans of the union government. Right? We have stopped 5-year plans now. Initially, we have the 5-year plan schemes, and this planning forum will sensitize the students and staff on various 5-year plans promoted by the Union Government of India. Next, we have an art development forum, which hones and trains the students on developing their fine arts skills in arts. We have also established a fine arts forum, which organizes Freshers Day function, in which we identify the young talented minds, and they excel in most of the intercultural competitions. They have even went to the RDC, the very prestigious Republic Day parade, and representing the state of Tamil Nadu, and they have secured awards and prizes for that. They have taken group photos with our Prime Minister as well as the President of India during the Republic Day celebrations. Our College of Fine Arts team has been selected to represent the state in the New Delhi RDC parade. Next one is we have the Institute of General Knowledge. We have Vocational Guidance and Information Center. We have Social Service League. We have the World University Services, WOOS, shortly called as WOOS. Next, we have Placement Cell, which is very vital to any institution. We have also a Center for Competitive Examinations, which regularly organize guest lectures, motivational programs, sensitization lectures in collaboration with IAS academies, reputed institutions, IAS coaching centers, free of cost. That is very, very essential. We need to provide such things as services, not by charging money from the students. And we have a Women's Cell. Equal Opportunity Cell ensures that all the socially, economically, and communally backward students get equal opportunities by way of sensitizing them with the various scholarships and funding schemes available to them. We also include physically challenged students in this equal opportunity cell where we arrange bribe, scribes during the examinations, and we also have various softwares which help them read and understand the text. We have an Institute of Gandhian Studies and we have a Center for Vivekananda Studies also. These two institutes, Institute of Gandhian Studies and the Center for Vivekananda Studies, are established with an objective of promoting the Gandhian principles and the principles of Vivekananda respectively. So these clubs, fora and other centers are very, very essential, which can promote, which can carry out these awareness activities in the campus. So it is mandatory for all the institutions to establish some centers, if not everything. We can arrange, we can establish at least some centers which can serve the society, nature clubs, women's cell, right, media club, and other things, which need not consume much money or efforts, right? And the most important thing is when we constitute any club or fora or any center, it is a prerequisite or it is a mandatory thing that student representatives must be present in all the clubs, fora, and other centers. So it is mandatory, and NAC and UGC encourages such student participation in such activities. So this is very, very essential. I already talked about the women's cell, safety, security, counseling, and women empowerment initiatives. The objectives of the women's cell must be social awareness, developing the self-esteem and self-reliance among boys and girls to ensure mutual respect and offer personal guidance and counseling in order to promote gender equity. We have Equal Opportunity Center. I have talked about it, right? I have just highlighted one Equal Opportunity Center for just a sample to you. In order to provide a sample to you, I have highlighted this objectives of Equal Opportunity Center to provide guidance and counseling to disadvantaged group of people with respect to academic, financial, social, and other matters. So what are the common activities? To ensure equity and equal opportunity to the community at large in the college and bring about social inclusion. This is an important value. To look into the grievances of the weaker section of society and suggest amicable solutions to their problems. To look and to establish coordination with the government and other agencies or organizations to mobilize academic and financial resources to provide financial assistance to students of disadvantaged groups. This is one such center. I have highlighted this center and to talk about the objectives and activities of each and every club, cell, and forum. Another important thing which we have to incorporate in higher education institutions is the celebration of important days. National festivals. National festivals like Diwali, Pongal, Vijayadashami, Ramzan, Bakrid, Christmas, and New Year shall be celebrated with gaiety and thereby promoting the concept of religious harmony. Whatever program, whatever celebration we do in the campus must be in accordance with promoting one particular social value or one or two, right? It promotes religious harmony. Samattuva Pongal, in Tamil, we call it as a equality Pongal, which ensures equality and religious harmony. That is why we have Samattuva Pongal. We have local Andavkar temple festival in our locality. That is in Srivilliputturu, a nearby town, in which NSS and the NCC units of our college student volunteers will be actively involved every year in assisting the policemen for maintaining the law and order. That is a direct service to the society. Through the Swami Vivekananda Study Circle, we offer short-term and certificate courses. Guest lectures are organized by inviting scholars and devotees from organizations such as Vivekananda Kendra in order to sensitize the students on Vivekananda's principles and preachings. It is a similar thing for Institute of Gandhian Studies. Same thing. So important days like National Science Day, International Women's Day, International Girl Child Day, World Consumer Day, Environment Day, World Water Day, World Blood Donation Day, World Ozone Day, International Day of Yoga, Hindi Day, Wildlife Week celebration or celebrating with various competitions. Prizes and certificates can be distributed. These certificates will be the evidences for NAC when we issue them. We can conduct workshops on communal harmony. Gandhi Jayanti has to be celebrated in order to promote Make in India, Swachh Bharat, and Gandhipedia like Ahimsa. Every year, NSS Day is celebrated on 24th of September. Under Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, cleaning camps can be organized with the motto of Swachhta Ki Seva. NCC wings are also involved in celebration of Independence Day, Republic Day, NCC Day, Kargil Victory Day, Flag Day, Martyrs Day can be celebrated. Our college, I'm proud to record in this moment that we are the topmost contributors among this entire state for Flag Day Fund. And we have received appreciation certificates from the district collector and the district administration. Teachers' Day is celebrated every year, and International Day of Yoga is celebrated, in which thousands of our students perform yoga in the open ground, and they also participate in various competitions such as yoga, essay writing, and so on. NSS volunteers are encouraged to participate in competitions like essay writing, letter writing, poems highlighting the importance of victory of surgical strike, that is in Pulwama attack, in which our Indian Army soldiers have exhibited remarkable integrity, dedication, and valor that happened on 29th of September 2016. This can be celebrated, right? Every year is a day of surgical strike that is in Pulwama, right? This will attract the UGC and the NAC in these celebrations. To commemorate the birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Kalam, we can celebrate 15th October as the World Students' Day. Every year, 15th July is celebrated as Educational Development Day to mark the birth anniversary of our former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Sri K. Kamaraj. And NAC also insists in its self-study report in the Criterion 7, it insists the institutions to celebrate birth and death anniversary of great personalities. So in our institution, we have taken up the celebration for personalities like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Srinivasa Ramanujan, William Shakespeare, and Tamil poets like Bharatiyar Thiruvalluvar, which can be marked in the college handbook. I talked about various days, Environment Day, Water Day, Ozone Day, and so on. These days can be marked in the college handbook and can be posted in the college website also, so that students can actively come out and participate, and they can win prizes for that. So these programs are organized in order to make the students understand their contributions in respective fields. What these great people have contributed, like them, they have to get the inspiration from some great personalities, right, in their respective fields, achievements, the principles, and selfless service to the society and nation. So what are the initiatives? I have summarized everything which I have listed out so far. These are the things which we follow in our institution. One is to promote gender equity. Gender equity can be promoted through the women's cell of the institution. And I told you, women's cell, in which the members of female staff members of from representing all the departments can be members of the women's cell. Number two, voter awareness on consumer laws, awareness about RTA, use of Right to Information Act, right? Intellectual property rights can be familiarized. In the morning session, right, the director from ATM, CST has talked about the importance of IPR, so we can organize programs related to it. We have to sensitize our girl students about the specific laws for women, especially against the dowry, right? Women anti-harassment, right? These are some laws which are specifically meant for women in order to ensure their protection. We have to organize programs on environmental consciousness and sustainability. We can go for alternate energy sources, for which we can conduct an energy audit. I talked about green audit and environment audit in the previous slides. We can also go for energy audit, in which a government certified engineer, electrical engineer, can act as the energy auditor. I want to highlight this particular point because this energy audit is mandatory in NAC for which we have to obtain a certificate that the college or the institution has been using energy conservation methods like the adopting of LED bulbs instead of ordinary tube lights or the round bulbs. We have to go for LED bulbs, which promote energy conservation. We need to also go for energy star rated products. The higher the stars, the higher the energy savings. We have to go for energy savings, electrical accessories. In the previous NAC cycles, they have suggested to go for CFL. From the ordinary bulbs, we have to go for CSL in the previous cycles. In the recent times, NAC insists on going for LED bulbs. In terms of alternate energy sources, NAC has been extremely ambitious that they suggest that we have to produce energy on our own in the campus, which is extremely time consuming and which is very, very costly. If we install solar panels as well as windmills, which are extremely unaffordable to the institutions, which cannot be done very easily, but if the management permits, if we have collaboration with some NGOs, we can install solar panels and we can go for alternate energy sources. Like that, we have to make use of wind power or solar power. NAC has been also raising a question, how much power we have generated on our own and how much power or in units we have contributed back to the government, to the grid, GRID grid. How much power we have given back to the grid. They're asking for the data, which is it seems to be very ambitious. Okay, next thing is green campus initiatives. I talked about green audit and environment audit. I talked about birth and death anniversaries of great leaders, observance of important days, which of national and international significance, commemorative days, events and festivals need to be organized, human values, professional ethics, constitutional obligations, values, rights and duties of citizens. Apart from the above list, we can offer a separate course in a sense, I mean the paper. An extra paper can be offered as the part 4 or part 5 component on the topic of human values, professional ethics, constitutional obligations, values, rights and duties of citizens. This is very, very essential. This also is constantly stressed by the NAC in the criterion number 7. Latest schemes of the government like Swachh Bharat, Unnat Bharat, Swachhta Pakwada, Swachhta Ki Seva, all these things can be promoted. And let me show you the practices which we follow in our institutions during the previous assessment. Can you see the screen? This is the website in which we have uploaded our SSR. Can you see the screen here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the self-study report of our college? Yes. In which, in the 7th criterion, I have listed out, I have taken all these points. And I want to highlight what kind of practices we follow in our institutions in order to create awareness and sensitizing our students. Rainwater harvesting, energy saving measures, green campus initiatives, right? How we help the physically challenged people, how to engage with the local community, right? Displaying of core values in the website, right? These are the activities which we have specifically meant for creating consciousness about the national identities, the symbols, and fundamental duties and rights of Indian citizens and other constitutional obligations. I just want to show these are the courses offered under the human values and promotion of universal values. This is the most important question. There is this 7.1.17. we have to list out the value activities conducted for the promotion of various activities which promote universal values and social values. I can show you what kind of programs we have organized here. Sorry, I couldn't. The link is not working here. In my tablet, it is not working. So, in a sense that we can highlight, we can give a list of activities which promote. Just a second. Yes. Yes, this is the list of activities, promotion of values here. This is again a link here provided here. Yes, for the particular year 2015 and 16, these are the activities we have organized in our institution. This is one such orphanage in an extension activity, the name Amirtha Anbu Illam, in order to give a stress relief program, in order to promotion of universal values. Another one is about, this is a program which is meant for a special meeting, Tamil in America, organized in collaboration with the World Tamil Academy, Michigan, US. It is an interaction program, right? Children living in US, they have come and interacted with our students. This is one extension activity organized in a welfare home for senior citizens in a nearby locality. This village has been adopted by our college. Can you see the screen? Is the screen visible, madam?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Okay, okay. This is the one such extension activity which we have organized in a nearby orphanage, which is also an old age home for senior citizens, where we have carried out various activities. And this is the World Hindi Day celebration, Rashtra 2015. We have to maintain circulars, the evidences, even the budget and everything. This is one such intra-college competitions which are published in the newspaper, state level competitions. Awareness program has been organized, tree plantation. This one is again Tamil Charam, Tamil intercollegiate competition. And this is a 154th Jayanti celebration of Swami Vivekananda, which was published in the Hindu newspaper. 154th Jayanti celebration. This is for Humor Club in Tamil, a debate by the Humor Club. We can also go through this Skype program with Vijay Kumar with USA. It talks about diasporic criticism. This is the one-day seminar invitation which we have organized for communal harmony, promoting communal harmony. And this is another activity organized by Tamil department by inviting eminent speakers. It is a counseling program for women, what kind of challenges they face in the society. So such programs can be regularly organized in order to inculcate. These are meant for promotion of social values. And last one is promotion of universal values. I have listed out the list of universal values like truth, righteous conduct, love, non-violence and peace, national values, human values, national integration, communal harmony, and social cohesion, as well as for the observance of fundamental duties. Let me highlight and just show you what kind of activities we have carried out in our institution. This is for the year 14-15. This activity is for the Grandparents Student Club. It is given in Tamil. Celebration of Mother's Day. Mother's Day celebration in order to highlight motherhood. Temple arts in order to make the students get sensitized about the temple arts. We have taken our students to Tirumohur Kalamega Perumal temple, which is in Madurai. and we have arranged for a field visit. The cave paintings, the cave sculptures have been shown to explain to the students. This is a guest lecture on life skills in Indian culture. This is an activity organized in an orphanage, a children's orphanage, an extension activity to promote values. This is one activity from the BioBloom Association of UG Biotechnology Department called BioBloom Association. Can you see the name in the top? Every department in our college will be having associations, and in which we can see the secretary and joint secretaries will be students. Ms. R. Harsha and Mr. G. Vigneshan are students, student representatives, and awareness program is on global warming. This is a program from Commerce Department. It is a life skill program, how to go for part-time jobs or how to make use of Earn While You Learn scheme. Earn While You Learn scheme. Again, Hindi World Hindi Day celebration. This is again, every year we celebrate Communal Harmony Day, right? Nature, with an objective of nature, nature awareness. Essay rating was organized by Tamil, English, drawing and Rangoli competitions were organized, right? Grandparent Student Club, a debate was organized. This is another senior home for senior citizens. We carried out an extension activity which helped the elderly by providing some assistance, financial assistance. Again, an extension activity in an adopted village. They indulged in cleaning camps, tree plantations, cleaning the school campuses, right? Cleaning the rooms, we can see. This is a Department of Zoology's intercollegiate competition, which also celebrate the Wildlife Week celebration, which is marked as BioStar 2014. It was carried out in the year 2014-15, right? This is the invitation for that program. We need to collect all these evidences, right, while compiling the evidences for the activities, right? This is one Microbionts Association from Department of Microbiology. A quiz competition was conducted. Oral presentations were encouraged, right? Thank you. And these are some of the activities we follow in our college, that is ANJAC. So let me conclude my presentation with this final slide. Our beliefs become our thoughts. Our thoughts become our words. Our words become our actions. Our actions become our habits. And eventually our habits become our values. So values are very, very essential, which become our destiny. With the words of the great leader Mahatma Gandhi, let me conclude my presentation. And thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational and informative session. Excellently, you have presented all the promotion of all the ways to promote the universal values, human values, etc. Now, the participants can unmute your mic and you may interact with the resource person. If you have any queries, you may ask now. Sir, one request from in the chat box, sir. Can you brief on green audit, how it to be very done good. As per NAC?
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It is the latest concept by NAC. Green audit can be organized in a campus in order to calculate the flora and the fauna. That means the plants and animals and insects. What are the species available? Since our college has a very sprawling campus of 157 acres, and that too in a rural area, I told you about the Peacock Park, right? The green audit has to be taken by the institution with the certified horticulturalists, the Department of Horticulture, right? We can bring them as experts. We can make them, we can certify that these are the list of species of plants available in the campus. Same case for the Department of Wildlife and Sanctuaries. They can be brought inside the campus to certify that these are the list of insects. These are the species of insects and animals found in this campus. This is called as a green audit. How much green cover has been found in the campus is called as green audit. That is the main objective of green audit. Any other questions, ma'am?
Participants, you can ask questions to the resource person.
Thank you so much for the comment about the GPSC, Grandparent Student Club. Thank you. One participant, Dr. Durdana Ovias from Bhopal School of Social Sciences, has given an invitation to take a session in our institute. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for your offer. Sure, we can do it after obtaining permission from my institution. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I have highlighted only a few things, and you may be also very good experts, and kindly make use of this platform to share some of the novel initiatives you carry in your institution. This platform can help other participants. We can also learn from you.
Yes, dear participants, if you have any practices in your institution.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please. Yes,
ma'am, can I speak? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
It was a wonderful session. I'm Dr. Durdana Ovias from Bhopal School of Social Sciences. It was really a wonderful session. And actually, I'm very much interested in the topic, and I'm doing research on sustainability and sustainability practices in the organization. And what you have taken includes a lot of things. And I'm researching on the role of institutions in promoting sustainability and achieving sustainable development goals. And you have beautifully linked it within NAAC criteria. So it was really nice, and it was clearly showing that there is a vast knowledge behind that. And due to constraint of time, you are sharing just the tidbits. So that's why I invited you in our organization, so that we can have deeper insights. And we will be highly obliged if you consider my request.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, this credit, actually your appreciation, the entire credit goes to the munificent management of this, our great institution, and our principal, sir, with highly visionary thoughts.
Sure, sir.
He's a man with the foresighted thoughts and everything. We plan everything well in advance, and our management constantly motivates and supports us in terms of financial concerns. Our management is so munificent and magnanimous enough. And the topics I have highlighted in my presentation mostly do not consume a lot of money, which we can easily take up in our institution, right? We can eradicate the use of papers, we can recycle the papers, which we can easily do it. And this is what NAAC also wants.
Yes. And I must, if that is the case, then I must appreciate that you are under an awesome guidance and leadership.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks to our leadership. Yes.
Have a great day, sir.
We are working as a team.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Comments, ma'am. Any other participants? So consider this as a forum, and you may share your ideas.
If in your institution, if you follow any such novel practice or innovative methodology or pedagogy, even in the curriculum, even in extracurricular or co-curricular extension activity, or outreach program or anything, what kind of programs you can share it in the chat box. We can easily mutually learn from each other. It will be very, very much beneficial to all the participants. Since we are all faculty members, benchmarking is something which can be shared with others. Right? Our institution may be a pioneer in one thing, and your institution will have a unique practice which we can also adopt. That is why I'm requesting you all of you.
Yes, sir. Can I speak again, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yes. Sir, in our organization also, in our institution, we are having a lot of such activities and outreach programs. We have got Devaharam, through which we distribute food to the outpatients. And there is a COW, Knowledge on Wheels program, that is being running. in our campus also. Our campus is a state-of-art campus. We have got ducks, we have got many animals, we have got lovebirds, we have got aquarium having sea fishes. So every type of plants, and we have green audits also. And apart from this, nature club is there. Then the various committee, equal opportunity cell is there. It is already conducting activities. But sir, what sir has done was, sir has clubbed all the things, how these all things can be directed towards one aim. And that's what was the lightning point.
The ultimate purpose is we have to contribute something to the society. That's all, man. As you have beautifully mentioned that you are have outreach programs to help the outpatients in a hospital. That is the greatest service an institution can offer. Right? Wonderful, man. Hats off to you. Thank you. And the only thing is, since your institution has a state-of-the-art campus with lots of facilities, kindly document everything and please maintain the evidences in a proper format so that we can easily present to the NAAC and they will be very much impressed. Since you have so much facilities, NAAC will be easily impressed. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all for your wonderful comments. One request from the participant to share the PPT. Surely we'll send, ma'am.
Definitely.
Definitely we'll share everything, every resources, video content also. But it will take some time. So be patient to receive that one. Surely we'll send all the resources. Thank you, sir, once again for accepting our invitation and provided a very good talk on the topic, and also clarifying the doubts as well as getting suggestions from the participants also. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us. And also I thank the participants of this Atal sponsored 5-day online FDP program. Amidst your busy schedule, we successfully completed the day one. I will share the attendance link as well as the feedback link of all the 3 sessions. So kindly fill and submit. And if you have any clarification, you may contact me at any time. And also, if you have any doubts on your mind, you may clarify now, or you can give it as a post in the group, the WhatsApp group also. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you, dear participants, for your patient listening. Thank you so much for your encouraging words.
Kindly fill the form and submit. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same time, the same link from 9:50 onwards. You are requested to join the meeting. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.